Da-do, 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 do-do. Augie, shut up! Alright, here's the window. Now I'm gonna throw this rock through it. Archie, you're gonna shoot your arrow, and we're gonna climb up the rope attached to it. Alright? Alright. 1, 2, 3. Now, Archie. Alright, now we climb up this rope. Alright, now we just need to fight him. Any ideas? Hello, sirs. How may I help you? We're looking for Hephaestus Brigand. This way. One of your party is already in his study. Study? What? One of us? What? Hey, wait a second. Where's Cindy? You humor me. But I assure you no one could ever break into Hephaestus Brigand's home. That's very charming, friend, but I'm afraid the proof is about to jump you. What? Oh! Get him, boys! Get him! Come on, tie him up! Tie him up!
Welcome to the Tomes of Time! I'm the timekeeper, and here are my lovely victims. Guests. Players, who will now introduce themselves and who they're playing as, starting with...
I am Null and Paranoid. And I am playing the barbarian of the group, Niella Vokane.
I am Disciple, aka Blake. I'm playing Rafa Marcus, the somewhat confused monk.
Hello there. I am the Black Doctor, and I play the illustrious and holy bishop, life cleric Donatello.
And in this corner, weighing in at, I don't know,
154 pounds. I am Gerrit Arten, played by the one and only Christian Assassin.
And
He's also an assassin.
And we do unfortunately seem to have an absentee for the night, which is perfectly understandable. Kyle St. Andrews may not be joining us. If he is, he will arrive when he is free to do so, but he did tell me aforetime. So, without further ado...
special guest. My wife.
You had to point that out.
Playing? Without further ado, who remembers where we last left our heroes?
I do. Okay, where we last left our heroes, we had finally reunited together, and we came across, we met at a pretty dire amount of circumstances. Our dear little axolotl was about to be sacrificed.
Oh no.
And we all came to his little rescue in a pretty awesome boss battle. Our boss got suplexed and cut in half.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And shot.
Well, he got ran through, but...
No, I shot him like 3 times.
Right, but what did him in was the spiritual weapon run through.
Right, exactly. And I ran him through with my holy sword. We finally rescued all the lost town, the lost folks in Trent. And as we came back, we sort of came at the end of an execution. The mayor of the town, Sir Brigand, was about to be hanged, and was hanged. And then the rope snapped, and then he ran. And that's pretty much where we left off.
Perhaps galloped away.
Yeah.
Grundled, maybe?
Grundled away. Then he waddled away, waddle.
Yes, it is the 2nd of Vilan, the month of Vilan, the day of Sundal, and it is noon, as what's his name? As captain of the guard from Andal, Waylon has described the crazy change of circumstance. The brigand, the brigand, the brigand was taken down by the Bugbear Bandits, and there is an election to be held later this afternoon. Current competition, though that can be added to, is between Honest Tom and the leader of the Bugbear Bandits, Adam Moriarty. Honestly, this session is up to what you guys want to do. Nella, you remember Saren waking you up this morning saying that it is... Sorry, I don't want that name on screen. Please get an appropriate name. That it is the day of Carmichael's birthday, and she was not able to get a cake just yet, as the conflict was, of course, him missing. Doc, we will be able to say, roll. Actually, I'm going to move the token to town of Trent as you all awaken. Doc, could you please roll a retroactive investigation check for me?
Sure.
Oh, and if you lost it last time, you get an inspiration point for the intro.
Nice.
And if you don't have one, you have an inspiration point for being the closest with how long it's been.
Sweet. I'll take it.
For those wondering what I'm referencing, I had some of them guess how many days have transpired in game. It's only been 4. We're on day 4. 16. All right. You had been tasked by the shopkeeper of Trent to find a missing shipment of mage root, if you remember, and you did happen to find it. Yes, comments. The majority of us are Calvinists. Not all of us. But, like, this quarter.
So I know exactly where this is, where the shipment is.
You have it with you.
Okay.
You know, and you remember where the shop is.
Right.
So, yeah, what you do with the day, honestly, is yours. If you want to try to get involved with the elections, whatever you want to do. Trent is your oyster. Tell me how you wish to proceed.
Nice.
I definitely want to have a conversation with our illustrious Donatello at some point.
Okay.
Well, Rafa, why don't you accompany me to the store? As I turn in this shipment, I believe I have a promise to keep.
Keeping promises is definitely a good thing.
Indeed. And so Rafa and I begin to make our way there.
All right, Nella, would you want to do anything in the meantime?
So, Saren, said that she didn't have a cake.
Yeah, she was going to go get or make a cake or somehow, but she was fixated on making sure where Carmichael was, which led to the whole everything.
Okay. So, Nella doesn't know what a cake is, but can she go look for one?
She can certainly try. I want you to roll a investigation check with disadvantage.
What sort of feature is the cake?
You could try to enlist Saren's help if you wanted.
Oh no!
Noah, as you're wandering the streets of Trent, just trying to vibe check what a cake is, you find some of the kids that you just recently saw playing with the strange ponchoed figure. They're forming the mud of the street into a small round, and as you ask out of curiosity, they tell you making a mud cake.
Ah. Okay.
They ask if you want a piece.
She's not that stupid. She knows what mud is. She knows it's not edible. So no.
Okay. You now at least have a visual indicator for what a cake should look like.
Awesome.
Meanwhile, the scene cuts to as the turtle and elf enter the store shop. Let's see, what kind of store keep was this again?
It was a lady of some kind.
It was. I also just need to clear my throat, so I gave myself an excuse.
It was some lady.
Doc, you remember, Nelope Vars looks up as she's cleaning some spillage off the counter, and the human smiles at you. Ah, you've returned. No, she was southern. Ah, you've returned.
And Donatello smiles back with a humble smile of accomplishment. Indeed, I have, my friend. I believe you were looking for this shipment, were you not?
Well, yes, I said there would be a reward for however much you could recover.
Yes. It is not much for those who worship Palo to actively seek rewards, but this was primarily for the satisfaction of your restoration itself. But nevertheless, that might be of use to myself and my companions. What did you have in mind?
Well, the deal was you recover any mage root you find that has been stolen, and I'll give you a 100 gold piece reward.
Indeed. So how much did I recover? Just the whole shipment?
You recovered. Mage root kind of looks like a kind of a salmon red, reddish pink pastel, kind of cauliflower plume, kind of like a at least from the TV show version of Last of Us, kind of those heads, but without the ugly head part. It's just a fungal kind of root thing that's, about that size, and you manage to recover, for the most wear and tear, a full head of it.
Nice. So that would be 100 gold pieces then.
Thank you very much. And as she pushes over a pouch to you, as she takes it into the back of her store shop.
I humbly grab the pouch, nod my head to her, and then what is it? I guess take a scrap of paper and scratch the symbol of Paylor on it before leaving.
All right.
I have a request.
Huh?
Of Don.
Okay.
Are there? I rolled because I was watching him and listening very carefully. Was the storefront also a weapon shop?
There are some basic, very, very, very basic like survival supplies that could double as tools. Kind of think like the camping section of a store.
Specifically,
hatchet
quarterstaff.
There is not one there.
Okay, fair.
Probably be at the forge.
Might be.
Oh, okay, yeah. Didn't know this out.
Goodness, that's loud noise outside my window. Yeah. Nilla, are you looking around more?
She is going. So, where's Saren?
She's not far. You can find her easily enough.
Okay, Nella is going to ask Saren what a cake is.
Oh, right, you're not from here. A cake is, you know what a pastry is?
No.
Oh boy. She leads you inside the tavern, and she explains to you what a cake is over a mild ale shared between the two of you, while Carmichael is off in the street playing with the kids.
Cool.
Artan, what are you doing during all this commotion?
That is an excellent question. So I was not here for much of what was discussed because I deal with some things. So I am going to get up out my bed and I'm gonna go out into the tavern. I'm gonna sit at the bar and talk to the barkeep. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna talk to the barkeep and I'm gonna say, that man from the other night, did he attempt to come down for some alcohol?
Don't remember what voice I gave. Yeah, Phil. He has the name tag Phil Mickup. Well, I don't. Seems he passed out upon entering his room, but he has been drinking some today.
And has he paid his tab?
The money he paid for the room did cover some drink as well.
Well, I will take a mug of ale.
Certainly. Would that be any particular kind? We do have a few different kind on tap.
The hoppiest you can find. Or the hoppiest you have, rather.
Hoppiest? There's also the hardiest. Have you ever heard of Galamy Ale? Dwarven.
I heard it's very hard to come by.
Dwarven, some call it divine.
What check would that be to see if I know it, actually?
That would be a history check.
Do I know it?
You've heard a drinking song around it. It's a very common, very famous dwarven ale.
Indeed, I have heard of it. I've never had the opportunity to try it myself, so what the heck? I might as well.
I'll give you a first timer's discount. That'll be 5 silver.
Well, I have no silver on me, but I can do you 1 gold.
Certainly. So he takes that and he gives you back 5 silver, and he pulls up from under the bar this very stout yet big bottle, sets it down.
It comes in pints?
It's one of those where the glass is sculpted with very intricate, elegant, sort of Norse-esque designs. The bottle itself, if you look close enough, it kind of tells its own mural-type story as he uncorks it and pours a little into a... surprising for an ale, he pours it into a shot glass, slightly bigger, and slides it over to you. Don't drink it too fast now, lad. Made for people with a lot hardier constitution than you or I. He puts it back.
Of that, I have no doubt. I take it, and I take a very, very small sip.
Roll a constitution check for me.
Screw you, of course. I figured, even with the small sip, you were going to do that.
Not for the weak of heart, laddie.
It is the driest and the most, bitter. If you've ever had London Dry gin, It is like taking a quick swig of just straight that. It is aromatic. It is bitter. It stings. Every bit of every bud of your mouth, every sensation.
I legit thought that you were going to have me get drunk after one little sip.
That would have been hilarious.
It does leave you coughing though.
And I would like to point out that in real life, one small sip of a beer would not get me drunk. I have a higher tolerance than that.
Right. It wouldn't get anyone, but this was mostly just for how your palate is handling this. Whether you like it or not is a different thing, but it's very
For
strong.
comedy.
It's very strong.
Well, I mean, if you happen to get a beer for me that roughly is around the same lines of what you have described for this beer, I would be more than willing to try it.
So you have that drink to probably sip through your time at the bar. Meanwhile, what is the former shopping part, or I guess not shopping, dropping off party doing?
So as we're leaving, I wanted to ask him, what more can you tell me about your religious beliefs? I can tell by various conversations that you have that you're relatively high up in the rankings, so I figured why not ask from the source?
Well, of course. Well, how should I describe the great religion of Palor? That's really the big question because I don't know where all my notes are on it.
Oh no, I caught him off guard.
That's fine. Because, well, of course, in relation to the great Palor, we love him, and this religion is started is because of his dear son. His son was sent down for us. Of course, we, as lowly, wretched, and vile sinners, have violated his law. And therefore, because of that, the only thing we deserve is judgment. But instead of judging us, he has given us his son in order for him to take our punishment upon himself. And in giving us his life and taking on our death, he has given us his life. And in response to that, we love him and we love others for the sake of others. Such is the religion of the great Palor.
Also, the whole showdown with all the dragons thing.
Oh, yeah, and because of that, the dragons in relation to this, especially the dragons don't necessarily like our religion that much, especially because it comes from the very enemies of our religion, and therefore we must fight them. I hope our deepest hope is to convert them, but in light of that, if they refuse, they must still be destroyed because they harm others.
Well, specifically that Akara was the figure who led what basically
rebellion.
became the end of the Age of Dragons, as those draconic, as the literal dragons whom the Dragonborn still worship, were slain in a great battle.
What evidence do you have that this is the true God?
Well, number one, look around you. We are literally at war. This is literally the fulfillment of everything that was spoken of before. The dragons are now at war with us, and we're at war with them. The reason why we do not have dragons is because of our ancient tales are true.
You speak of prophecy?
Indeed.
And where is this written?
It is written in the... What I keep forgetting.
It would just be called like the Holy Book, the Scriptures. It's not really called the Bible.
Yeah, it would be found in our holy books. I mean, I could easily take you to one of our churches, and you can take a look at it. We are open with our texts.
I would appreciate that.
Happens to be a church in town.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Then how about I take you to our parishes? Come along, come along. And so he begins to take him to the church, and
As
do we?
as you pass the tavern, the crowd you see that was around the gallows has now broken up, and some are going home, some are talking, traveling, going to the tavern. And we're going to scene change real quick back into the tavern for it. Nella, how do you react now to understanding what a cake is?
She's gonna go look for one.
All right. Do you want Saren's help, or are you going to try to do it yourself? Are you going to try to brave it yourself, or you can have Saren's help?
Yeah, she's gonna ask Saren for help.
Certainly. And you travel with her, and wow, how did I not think about maybe having a bakery in this town? You go to the only real store in town, and you ask the woman behind the counter, who is still wiping reddish pastel dust off of her hands. And she goes, well, we don't deal with that often, but I can whip up something for you by tonight? Does that sound good? Would you like that before or after when they hold the elections?
After.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
So wait, they're gonna hold elections the exact same day that they just lost their mayor?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's rather quick.
Otherwise, it's chaos.
Artan, you did actually hear this from the banter of the crowd. What is Artan up to now?
I would say that he's just gathering information.
All right.
Like trying to, because they still are on their mission to get this slave ring under control. Correct?
Right. So yeah, roll me an investigation check as you're wandering the streets. Just kind of eavesdropping.
Oh!
Wow.
You find out a lot, not a lot that's truly relevant. Well, okay. Yeah, you do, it does get confirmed what has been understood, that not too long ago, the Festival of the Detestable came through town on their way from the port town of Saints to the sort of northwest up the coast from here. Or along the coast from here. Actually, that would just be west from here, basically. You start hearing some things about the campaigns of Honest Tom and Adam Moriarty. You actually catch Honest Tom in the streets going around and drunkenly rambling, "A vote for me is a vote for free stuff. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that." Meanwhile, the disparate members of the Bugbear Bandits are actually handing out flyers with crudely drawn depictions of Adam Moriarty, kind of explaining some of the basic things he has in mind. His big campaign slogan: "I've got big plans for this little town." And one common thread throughout the people is they're very curious who's going to host this debate. And it sounds like there might be an opening for either extra candidates or hosts. As you process this information, the religious and the skeptic arrive to the stair stepped up to the doors of the Palorian church of this town. As it is,
Ah, yeah.
as it is the day of Mass, Sundal, the doors are wide open. Uh, you go in, and there's a small gathering of people as the head minister is giving a message. The minister whom you saved, Rowan Adley, you don't know what's going on. Uh, it's
Fair
not
enough.
it's not a Norvus Ordo. You're not that familiar with the ecclesiastical language.
Right.
um, Rowan Adley is standing off to the side, and he notices you. Oh, hello again. Thank you for everything.
I nod to him. It is an honor to help another servant of Palor.
Yes. Oh, actually, um, no good deed should go unrewarded. I found this for you while cleaning up. Well, it has been found while cleaning up, and he hands over to you. As you look at it, you dust off the cover, and it looks just like a hymnal. It says "Book of Prayer, Second Edition," um, and once I put it in your journal, save changes. As you look at it, you will realize you now have access to reappropriated spells from D&D Second Edition. Uh,
See, I like this. This is nice.
so you can prepare these as a cleric. Of course, you have access to your full cleric spell list. You prepare a set number each day, so you now have these in addition to your normal prayer book.
What
uh,
have you done, Stephen?
huh?
I said, what have you done? You just
uh,
made Donatello much more dangerous.
You have made this holy man the most powerful character in this game.
well,
Anyway,
at least one.
So, note to self: don't off the turtle.
Hey, language.
Sorry.
Um,
um, I he Donatello takes the book with quivering reverence, and then he lightly kisses it, and he looks back
as,
at
as you kiss it, you smell the that old church book smell from it.
mhm. And he with a slight tear in his eye, he knows how much of a sacrifice this is, and how what kindness this is, and so he says, "Thank you, a million thanks, and may the great Palor bless this house."
May his light shine upon you in your travels. Hello, other friend. What brings you here?
Curiosity.
He wishes to see the scriptures, my friend.
Oh, certainly. Here, have mine. He hands you this very old, like base. It's about in this condition. It's really old, tattered, held together by primitive for the age adhesive tape at the binding. This book. It has served me a good long time. May it serve you ever longer.
This is your holy text,
Yes,
and you're giving it to me.
certainly. It is
I,
for us to give freely, as God has freely given us all that we need.
I appreciate your kindness. I will care for it.
Indeed. Well then, how about we take a little bit of a tour around the church to see if I can explain a few things to you. And he begins to to the um, walk around the church. Does he see anything in particular? Possibly something about the history, probably
It's
about the age of the eons and so on.
the stained glass windows in this church rather tell the story of um Trent, the transition from the end of the age of dragons into this age of intellect of one pane depicts a the idea of the diggings into and under the earth citadel. This think of like if the Tower of Pisa was gargantuanly bigger and inverted into the ground. You can see the soil around it and the surface with a slight layer. Um, and you see um, this shimmering icon of light, its rays coming out, striking these stained glass figures that match with other depictions you've seen of dragons. Another pane showing the um, the first time these uh, for lack of a better word, these virginal eyes seeing the surface for the first time in 1,000 years, a world charred and destroyed by its previous denizens. Um, and you see another panel where the world has been remade lush and green, and you see a small uh, bandwagon coming to a new place, and you see construction in a new panel, and another panel, this town of Trent, in which you are now.
Do you see, dear brother, the life in which these small inhabitants live? Their struggle, and yet their rise, and the hope that the great Palor gives them. Do you not see, within the lives of these small townsfolk, the reality of which I speak?
Perhaps. It's not something I haven't seen elsewhere with other gods by other names.
You would recognize, Donatello, that this particular temple is dedicated with a small statuette and a placard that is dedicated to basically this your religion's equivalent of Saint Patrick.
Hmm. Do you not see this statue? There was a saint who lived here, one who was, at first, when he was younger, captured by his enemies and enslaved. He eventually escaped his capture, but he was called by the great Palor and convicted not only to go back to this land, but to convert the very ones who enslaved him. And as a result, the great religion of Palor entered these lands and conquered these lands, not through the sword, but with faith.
And you'd
And
know
eventually, they drowned out all the snakes too.
that you'd know that to be relating to actually taken as a symbol of pilgrimage and making the best of what you have. In this world, he was a minister to the Amiri Desert, a part of this continent that is not actually part of the Empire.
Are you a prophet?
I? Surely not. I am not a prophet, nor a son of a prophet. I am just a lowly turtle.
Well, why would it be that I come across this place seemingly by chance to come across this very statue for its description by you to describe my very life?
Well, I might not be a prophet, but it sounds like the great Paylor. He rests his hand on his shoulder. It seems that the great Paylor has something in mind in store for you, my friend.
As you say this, Donatello, you're hearing the message, though in celestial. The minister is communicating that it is time for the sacrament, as the chalice and the platter of broken bread is presented, and the congregation is slowly coming forth to receive it.
Ah, I recognize this language too.
Come, my friend. It is time for those who belong to Paylor to participate in covenant renewal. And he leads him to join among the rest of the crowd. He begins to lead him. He seats him beside a few in the crowd, and begins to take his place as bishop with the other ministers before the chalice and the bread.
You are recognized, and you are handed a goblet of wine.
He lifts it up and says a prayer.
Roll
O Lord.
roll an insight check as you do this.
O Lord, you and your majesty have given this wine, this fruit of the vine, for our good pleasure. An investigation.
What? Insight.
For our good pleasure.
Insight is what I had said.
Insight? Okay. Good. For our good pleasure and for your grace. May it bless all who touch its lips.
As you say this, you're doing your best to muster the conviction, and you present a tone that is genuine. But something deep inside you, with everything that's gone on, and as you've been forced to start to think more, to actually experience the world around you, there's a slight sense inside of yourself of basically imposter syndrome about the words you're saying.
He slightly lowers the cup. He hesitates.
The head minister puts his hand on your shoulder. This was good, my son.
He lowers the chalice and hands it to the minister.
It is a great honor to hand out this in time. And he turns back to the congregation, lifts it to them as they come even closer, and they start to partake. After partaking of both, whichever respective minister they've gone to tells them to go and sin no more.
Donatello makes the sign of the Great Paylor as they leave.
Rafa, do you partake?
I do not.
Okay.
So I make sure to not be disrespectful either.
Okay. Yeah, there are a few other people who do not go up, so
Well, it's not good.
You're not the only one. And finally, as the ceremony closes, the ministers administer to each other. Niela, what have you been up to?
So, like, I don't know. I guess she would be kind of hanging out with Carmichael, trying to make up for the fact he got kidnapped on his birthday.
Okay. He got bored very fast of playing mud ball because he couldn't throw it very well, and his robes are very, very muddied now.
Carmichael finding something that he doesn't like doing? What?
They're just so mean, Noah. They don't really give you a chance.
Some people are like that, yes. But, you are probably better at singing than they are.
Well, Saren says so. I don't know.
Well, I think you're rather good at singing.
Aw. Thanks. You know, I'm not certain, but I think I've decided which college I'm gonna go to.
And what's that?
Lore College. It's in the Whistle Isles.
Lore college?
Yeah. You study, you learn more about the world, and I know very, very little.
Well, it's always good to learn more things about the world that we inhabit.
Helps you write songs. And not get kidnapped.
Yes.
You know what else helps getting not kidnapped? Not hanging around with a bunch of people like us.
Maybe not wrong.
I'll write you. I promise.
And I will try to write back.
Yay! Oh, maybe I could teach you Aquan. It's a beautiful language, really. Like, my name, it's not even pronounced Carmichael.
Oh, what's it pronounced?
It's actually been a minute. My accent's a little rusty.
Name is Chuck.
It's Chiramikal.
I can't pronounce that. I know Aquan.
You can.
You said cheddar.
Yeah. It's a pretty language. I'll explain in letters.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
What would you like to do today? If
for as much as I've traveled with Saren, I've never had this thing I heard about called ice cream.
Neither have I.
Oh, we could have some together if we can find any.
Oh, what? Where could we find some? Do you know?
Saren said sometimes there's carts that go around places with little jingles.
Well, we can go look for one.
We can look around. Roll a investigation check.
Cool. I'm not doing good.
Carmichael will look too.
Oh my.
If I could scroll up to Carmichael. Shout out Mikkel. As you're looking around, he starts. He kind of starts batting your hand with his floppy sleeve as he points there, and you look over, and the person whose name you've gathered is named Cinder. Is manning a cart with the sign "Vote for Adam Moriarty," and she seems to be handing out strange food to different people.
Let's go check it out.
All right, as you approach, there's another sign that says a free ice cream.
Cool. she gets 2 ice creams, one for her and one for Carmichael.
What kind would you like, ma'am?
What kind are there?
We have chocolate and vanilla.
Chocolate?
All right. Both or just one?
Carmichael, what kind do you want?
I never had either. I'll take chocolate, please. Yeah, she quickly scoops up 2 chocolates and hands them to you. And you don't know how this is physically possible, but as he licks it, his pupils seem to dilate more.
Oh no, wait.
And he looks at you with the widest axolotlian smile possible. He's like, "It's amazing!"
I gave the child sugar. Oh,
And he keeps.
What have you done?
He shoves the whole thing in his mouth.
Oh god!
Oh no!
Oh gosh!
wait.
He's gonna have a brain freeze and a sugar crash, I promise you.
Oh, jeez.
And actually, yeah, I will have him roll Constitution. Thank you.
No! I just did.
It tastes like chocolate. It's up to you how Nella perceives chocolate.
I mean, so chocolate is something she's had before. She's never had something like a frozen treat before.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just gonna slowly like lick it, but the freezing, the cold like throws her off for a while before she licks it again.
He manages to not suffer brain freeze as he kind of partially chews and swallows it. And after a few minutes, he's to the point where he's just running circles around you.
Okay, do I see this?
Investigation check. Perception check, sorry. Perception.
Just slowly licking this ice cream.
Oh yeah, your head turns as soon as they're passing you by, you hear his yeah.
What has the child eaten?
It's the best thing ever, it's amazing, it's delicious. Oh! He keeps running around.
I glance at Nella and I'm like, what have you done?
What did you do?
He wanted ice cream, so I got him ice cream. And
I look back down at Carmichael. I look back up at Nella and I'm like, you're the one who has to deal with this when he's done.
Before sunrise, he's your son.
Actually, yeah, Nella, you know, while you're doing this, you're basically distracting Carmichael from Nella's from Saren's preparations at the tavern for basically a surprise party.
Yes.
And all of you at this point have actually been notified, as she has the message spell, that there's going to be a surprise party after the elections. Party at the church. What are y'all doing? You've now received Saren basically explaining. After the elections, the cake will be ready. We're having a surprise party for Carmichael.
Absolutely lovely. I hope that we shall be there. We shall try to make ourselves there soon.
He
in the
finished.
meantime-
Has he finished with his services?
Yeah, the service concluded. There was a brief benediction that you again couldn't understand.
Was it in Celestial?
Yes.
I do speak Celestial.
Oh my goodness!
I do.
He speaks the language of the
Wow,
gods.
Steven, way to read his character sheet.
Never mind. It's a Catholic service.
Sure.
Apist, it's all in Latin.
Oh no.
Espiritu Sante, all that. So yeah, y'all are basically dismissed.
The thing is, no one else knows that.
Fair.
Remember.
Fair.
Right.
Actually, you'd notice. It took a while for you to actually pay attention to it, but the sermon was actually on the evils of debauchery as sort of a smear campaign against Honest Tom running for mayor.
Interesting.
Wow. Talking politics in the church.
Mm.
Where have we
Where
seen
have
that?
I heard that before?
When the tyrants are in power, the righteous groan.
So I need to do something real quick. I'm gonna leave y'all to discuss and think. You don't have to be active members of the election that's gonna happen with this town, but you have the option to. You could try to run for office. Someone could try to run for office. You could do a campaign, like Bugbear is doing. You could try to become moderators. Y'all are free to discuss. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Contemplating the small existential crisis that I had during the
like
service.
what's that about?
I don't know. I begin I guess just conversing with Rafa. How do you, I mean, considering the sermon, how do you think this election is going to be?
The election. I'm really not all that concerned about it as long as it's not another tyrant, I suppose.
That much on that you and I agree. Tis weird that the rector started preaching about debauchery and relating it to Honest Tom. Shouldn't his name, I guess, be a namesake for him? A character sheet for him?
Hard to say. A liar can call himself what he likes, couldn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The name could be ironic.
Indeed. Just like calling a big man tiny.
Right.
But what do you think? I mean, one is a debaucherous Honest Tom, and then the other is the leader of bandits. But at least it seems that he still has something going for him, does he not?
Well, I think the latter could be persuaded to be, let's say, a little bit more upright by our influence.
Is that so?
I mean, we could always just threaten him that if he doesn't keep the upkeep of the town, we'll come back and we'll haunt his every waking moment.
Ah, Assassin, you're here. Good to see you. Wait, the assassin just teleported here.
He suddenly appears next to us. We're both like, don't do that.
See, assassin.
Well, I mean, that is kind of my deal.
Yeah, he is sneaky.
Also, you could totally try to join in on a campaign to help one side be better than the other.
Right.
Like it's basically it's however you want to try to influence, or you could just be audience. It's completely up to y'all.
So, question. Do you think Honest Tom can be, convinced to actually be honest?
Are you asking? Who are you asking? Are you asking them or me? Or
I'm asking you.
What? Insight check?
Okay.
If you're asking the DM.
I mean,
I'm warned, Jeremiah, that the last time you went well on an insight check, it did not go good for you.
What do you mean? I got a 27 on my last insight check.
Yeah. Then look what happens.
That is also true. I did enter into an existential crisis.
You can tell that he's got one of those nicknames that he gave himself as a facade to gain people's trust. That's completely yeah, he's nah. He's the town debauch.
So it is an ironic name. Well, I don't want to be mayor. So, I suggest that we all aid our little bugbear bandit captain to be a bit more on the straight and narrow. What do you think of that?
Rafa, what are you insight checking?
Just listening to what they're saying and trying to see if I have insight into it too. The problem is I'm a bit indifferent, but
Right.
I'm not saying
Right.
necessarily. But
Even thinking from the sidelines, it's hard to say if you really feel like either side is really that good. They're just the candidates.
is there no one else?
There's no one else running as far as y'all have heard.
I don't like any of this. I don't like any of these guys.
Well, I mean, it's either you vote for a criminal, which is most politicians, or you vote for a liar, which again is most politicians.
This guy.
So you got to pick which of the two evils is the lesser.
Right. We could deal with a corrupt person. We can convince him to act wisely. But for a constant liar, we wouldn't be able to trust him. Surely not. So I suggest that we take care of our bugbear friend.
I would be in concurrence.
Sounds feasible.
Noel, does Nella have something to contribute to the conversation?
Nella doesn't know what voting is. What is
Nella
this?
Which one of them is better with
what's going on right
Speak
now.
of. What is this
What is-
election?
Someone asked me something. I couldn't tell.
Huh?
Someone asked me something?
No, I asked you because of I asked you if you wanted to voice what you questioned.
I mean, I would love to do the idea that I have in mind because I know that there is a town where this is real, but Nella doesn't understand what. She knows what democracy is. She doesn't know what voting is.
That doesn't mean you can't propose the idea. Just you might lack the language to propose it.
Okay, hold on. So. I guess Nella is going to look like kind of. She knows about the two candidates.
Right.
She's gonna go to the guys. They don't seem very well for running anything. Okay.
No, not necessarily.
Well, I'm not sure how things are run here, but where I am from, leaders are chosen through battle.
Like you to say it all.
So are you,
Good.
dearest Nella, are you truly suggesting that honest Tom and our bandit friends suggest this or settle this by trial by combat?
Not necessarily. I was just pointing out that that is what I am used to. However, I also know that this type of ruling doesn't quite make sense because there is a tribe where I'm from where the winner of a battle was a wild boar that ran into the arena and became the leader.
At this point, how is Nella carrying the
So she has Tekna in a basket on her back.
Okay. At this point, what's Tekna? Is Tekna a he or a she?
Tekna's a girl.
Okay. She flops her head over your shoulder and looks at them and goes. This little runt piglet.
And I fully believe that an animal would most likely do a better job than either of those men.
Is she in the church now? Are they all in the church with us?
I'm
No,
saying
They just followed us.
you're meeting. We'll say there's one of those exterior kind of lounge areas outside of the tavern that you're kind of sitting at.
Never mind.
Okay.
There's a couple on a date a few tables away.
Isn't this so wonderful, honey? Why is there a turtle here?
What?
There's two pigs and one of them is on their hind legs.
Why is there a pig carrying a pig? I'm surrounded by swine!
There is actually, as you look around at another table, one of the people you did manage to rescue, we're going to say retroactively from the cave, the Tabaxi librarian is sitting across from a small, or the half Tabaxi? Full, I think it was full, is sitting across from a small Tabaxi child. They're having milkshakes, tearful, both of their eyes.
I notice and slowly walk over. Hello there, friends.
Oh,
Are you alright?
yes. If you come by the library, you can have any book that's there. For returning my son to me.
Well, alright. Many thanks.
No. It is you to who I am indebted. After my husband.
He doesn't say anything, but lays his hand on the table as a sign of solidarity. And he leans up his staff towards her.
The son, open mouth, smiles up at you, missing one of his fangs.
He chuckles.
And you return to the conversation as the pig lets out a little chortly squeal.
I don't understand why you kept that, but I'm still entertained.
I don't know why either. But my point still stands that maybe not Tekna, but some other creature would make a better leader than those two men.
Well, who do you suggest lead?
We didn't hear.
The strongest. That is how it is done.
You hear the hammering in the distance of them setting up the booths, kind of building off of the gallows, funny enough. Get kind of the idea. You get kind of the idea they have one stage in this town and they use it for everything.
Whoever doesn't win the debate gets hanged. Got it.
Puppet show, public hanging, election.
Right.
Always be prepared.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, one suggests that it would be the strongest that wins. And honestly, if that's the case, it's probably the bandit. Because I don't think Honest Tom would be able to hold a sword, let alone his liquor.
A sword is not necessary for a fight.
Seeing you and seeing Rafa, I concur. It was
I just
metaphor.
look up. I look at the turtle. I'm like, what? Am I chopped liver?
Yes.
Hey, you still use blades, sir.
Yes, but I can fight well enough without them.
Indeed. Indeed.
Isn't it better to not fight and brag about that?
Hmm.
How about you stay in your lane, monk?
Very well.
Heaven.
I was simply giving my thoughts. But I don't think either of those men could lead a town any more successfully than that hippo.
Hmm. Well, in many ways, I would probably agree with you. I begin to point to our two other friends. If it were not for these two, who do you think, if who you've encountered in this town, who would be good leaders? I mean, of course, I would probably suggest, uh, of course, one of our reigning spiritual leaders here. If they is able to lead the sheep spiritually, then he should be able to lead them politically. Thoughts?
I've seen a danger in such things from where I'm from.
What do you suggest, my friend?
Does your God say anything about the civil magistrate?
Well, there are a few things that I particularly have in mind that he says about in relation to us and the civil magistrate. And he begins to recall the words in the great book. Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from Paylor, and those that exist have been instituted by Paylor. Therefore, whoever resists these authorities resist who Paylor has appointed, and those who resist in good judgment. For rulers are supposed to be a terror to bad conduct and not good. Therefore, why have no fear of the one who is in authority?
Where is that here?
Turn to book 13.
You turn to the what would that be? uh,
If you want me to pull my NA-28 and look for it, I can.
uh,
Just reading along, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
You find that
it's
in
its
the
particular one would be to Pos Romanoisen. Pos Romanoisen, chapter 13, and those are verses 1 through 4.
specifically actually in a letter to I'm not sure yet, but basically it would be understood as the term for the former settlement that it was before Citadel came to be.
Yep.
Proper name pending.
The Book of Citadel, chapter 13.
Yep.
to Cordet or something like that.
Yeah.
Not to change the subject, but can you tell me where to look at those prophecies that we were talking about earlier?
Hmm.
You managed to do that as you get the vibe from sort of the foot traffic and the uh, muffled speech around you that it's getting very close to the elections, to the basically the presentation from the two candidates. Uh, and then the general consensus of the town.
I resigned to sit in the corner by myself with the book.
Okay.
I attempt to make my way to the very front of the crowd
Okay.
in order to get a good look and to make sure that no. This is going to be very ironic to say, but no assassinations attempt to take place.
The assassin takes the front row uh, to be an antithet.
I stand among some of the holy men who are standing among the crowd um, to take their opinions.
Okay. Uh, um, so if you're asking their opinions,
Yeah, I'm asking their opinions and what they think.
um, there's a very slim few. They're not the most. It's mixed opinion. Uh, Conjecture. Some think it's happening too soon. Um, some don't even really care. Um, Rowan. Rowan is too unsure.
I um I said I speak to Rowan specifically, and I lean upon my staff. My friend, I was considering you if you would take up this task, but I wanted to know what your thoughts were.
I have served Paylor some 82 years now. I don't know how much longer he wishes me to serve him. I would hate to leave this town in orphans so soon.
I nod in agreement. That much is very much so. But these sheep are in need of a shepherd, in need of a leader. They need someone strong.
Certainly.
I
Do
wonder
you
who
know
that could.
this Adam Moriarty?
I have, yes, I have met him before, and uh, by my own persuasion, we managed to get through his particular ambushes safely. So, I mean, if not anyone else, I could possibly persuade him to be a just and righteous leader.
Another brigand. A shame,
Hopefully.
but in my time I've seen much devolvement of civility and honor in society.
Mm. But nevertheless, my friend, why don't we look at the examples from our great scriptures about even our prophets appealed to the civil magistrate to do justice, to love mercy, and walk humbly with our God?
Iago. Yes, you are quite right. As you see the head priest slowly getting on stage with the rather large tome that is the podium of the church's um, holy book, in order to swear in the candidates for the debate and election.
Did I hear the conversation between the turtle, between Donatello and the
Perception
other
check.
one?
Perception check. Uh, yeah, a little bit. It's a little hard to hear, especially with the commotion of the crowd. But you make out the gist of what's going on. Uh,
Did I hear specifically the mention of another brigand?
uh, Roll an investigation check on top of that. Yeah.
When I hear that, I turn around and I say, another brigand. You've had one who has led this town before.
Well, that one's name was Brigand, and this one is too, as the namesake means, a ruffian. As the Bugbear Bandits are kind of like Secret Service escorting Adam up the stairs,
Posse.
setting down a series of small boxes that he climbs up. His clothes, as clean as they could get them. His hair, normally more curly, kind of slicked a little. A bit of a cowlick coming out. As he kind of sets down a few notes, and drinks from a flask, like a water canteen. But given that he is a halfling, it's more the size of a flask.
I'm looking at him, and I'm just trying my absolute best to not burst out laughing.
Which gets harder as you start to finally notice that Honest Tom hasn't made an entrance yet. Rather, you come to realize for a while now he's been passed out on stage by his podium snoring, now rather loudly.
What type of saving throw would that be to not burst out laughing?
Ooh, that's a good wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Your assassin training allows you to keep it together. As the minister kind of presses his boot against Honest Tom's head, as he kind of he kind of stands up and gets to the podium. The minister waves his hands slightly, and with a thaumaturgic boost, his voice rings out over the crowd. Silence! Silence! And the crowd does indeed hush. We are gathered here today to host an election. This town cannot without a mayor, and therefore we must replace the vacancy. Our contestants are Adam Moriarty of the Bugbear Bandits and Honest Tom, Town Bum. Both contestants bow. Hey, Carrie.
Hey, Logan.
Some questions have been pre-assigned for these candidates. Concerns of the town. Some will be able to be asked by the audience. And when you are satisfied, you will make your decision. Trent has always been a democracy. I was a part of the party who settled here. We chose to start. We chose to build, and today we will choose to be led. And he turns to them. Honest question to both candidates. What is your greatest mark you believe you have for the audience? Honest Tom restates his, a vote for me is a vote for free. Stuff. Yeah. Adam Moriarty goes, You see, people, I got big plans for this little town. Big plan. Well enough.
That wasn't vague at all.
Right.
By the way, that wisdom saving throw is once again to make sure that I don't burst out laughing.
You manage. You feel like it's getting harder. What are you trying to perceive?
Oh, should it? Well, just trying to get a read on both of them.
It's pretty
Maybe insight, but
pretty straightforward so far. A lot has been lost from this city over the last while. How do you plan to address the needs of your people? And Honest Tom pipes up first. Actually, yeah, no, we'll go with that. That wasn't what I meant to do, but oh yeah, oh no, sure, yeah. I just went to the last question instead of the first one. Honest Tom speaks up and goes, "Well, you see, the tavern has ale, right? I say it's on the house from here on out." Adam Moriarty kind of side-eyes him and goes, I'm trying to muster a Jersey accent. I was like, alright. Well, we will ensure that the resupply wagons are guarded. The minister nods. What sort of pay do you expect? Time frames, whatnot? Technical things. Honest Tom again pipes up. Hey, I'll accept anything from that there taverner's pay. Good old drink. Adam Moriarty kind of pinches his nose. Look. First year's pay will be reparations towards this town. Family who've lost children, spouses, goods, whatnot. Right? Okay? After that, then it can start actually benefiting me and my crew. The crowd seems to nod and be on board with what he's saying. Very good. It is seen by many people in this town as a grave fail on the part of the guard to protect it. How do you plan to deal with that moving forward? And Honest Tom says, well, beer will make the guard work harder, I'm sure of it. And Adam Moriarty fully face palms and goes, Look. People, we're the Bugbear Bandits. We took out Hephaestus Brigham. We can handle anything. You don't need the guard. You got us now. And I'm actually gonna have him roll.
That just made a lot of people mad.
That's the one shaky thing that he said all evening.
Huh?
It's like that's the one shaky thing he said all evening.
Where did I put them?
I'm going to turn around and I would like to do a perception check to see what the crowd thinks on that one.
Sure. Roll that would be an insight. Roll an insight while I try to find and have him roll a charisma check. Where did I put them? Here they are. Okay, they were on a closed tab. Oh wait, that's not a charisma save. Okay. The crowd. It's mixed. It is mixed, but they clearly seem more on board with Adam than Honest Tom. Especially the younger ones. So, yeah, they'll protect us. Yeah, he took down that hippo man. Yeah. At this point, an audience member now and then is called upon to ask questions. If any one of you want to pose questions to the candidates, you can do so.
I would like to pose a question.
Yes! Donatello, Bishop from Andal, yes.
To both of you. Of course, one of you seems to have an active plan to keep this little town of Trent safe. However, for a while, both of you have been here and have been present, and yet a large part of the town was taken by goblins. What do you think that you will do in order to rectify that problem? Because it seems to me that simply having the bandits around will not be able to protect every single one in this town.
Well, the guard, of course, will, not too sure. That's a good question you pose. Man who paid for my last night's stay. Adam Moriarty sighs and goes, Look. We arrived here just today. We took down the big guy. If we had been here, that probably wouldn't have happened. We would have gone out, we would have found them, we would have taken care of everything. Nobody would have gotten hurt. Minimal casualties. I really do feel for what happened here. Okay? I lost my father, I lost my mother. Insight check, everyone who's listening. It's terrible. It's not fun. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I'll do what I can to rectify it. What on earth was that, Doc? Well, that was weird. The turtle blinked in and out of existence for a second.
You lost your father, you lost your mother, and I lost connection for some random
You
reason.
lost connection. Can you please roll insight on his explanation?
Yes, please. I will definitely do so. Yes.
Ooh.
He's lying through his teeth about losing his family.
I know
only
you're
know
lying
her.
to me, sir. Be honest with us.
Well, yeah, so it's just about losing the family. He's sincere about they would have tried to help.
And
Sorry.
I suggest would it not be wiser for the bandits to band with the guard and further train with them, so that the people will have not only the bandits but also the guards who they already know and trust to keep this city.
That could totally be done. Yeah, we just have to have the time to do that, which in the middle of this election we do not have time for. But afterwards, certainly.
I lean over to Donatello and I whisper, I'm willing to bet that if they had attempted to rescue the townsfolk, they would have all been slaughtered.
That is probably true, but what other option do these poor folks have?
No. Fair enough. It's not like we can stick around. We have our own mission to take care of.
Are there any other questions from the audience?
I think we're good.
Fair enough. Man, how long is Null's doing this?
Trial by combat.
I don't want to close the election without her.
Let's see. Well, Donatello steps back up again. I guess he's very inquisitive. He asks, "Well, our dear captain of the Bugbear Bandits, you say that you have a lot of big plans for this town.
Oh yeah.
Would you mind enunciating us a few of those?
Well, you see, one thing I think is missing here is infrastructure, right? Partly because the supply wagons have been missing. So, my gang can guard those wagons, keep them from getting attacked by bandits, and those supplies can help the town grow. We can expand this town, because I'm sure with the families reunited, not to get weird on all the people in the town, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna need more housing. Okay? We're gonna need more shops. Like, there ain't no confectionery shops around here. I can't get a donut. We had to set up an ice cream cart. That was difficult. We didn't really have any money going into this campaign. Didn't even know we were gonna be going there. But with the right tools, the right assets, we can make Trent the town on this great map of Calibre.
I lean over to Donatello again and I say, protect from bandits. It's quite ironic considering they are bandits.
Indeed. But, hey, there's a reason why there is a statement about honor among thieves. When they put their mind to it, it seems that they do have a sense of, well, it's not integrity, but it's close enough.
I'm just wondering if they wouldn't try to just cut a deal with these other bandits in order to keep their own lives.
Well, why don't you ask them?
I don't want them to lose face. They're the ones who are actually coming up with a plan.
Well, if they have courage under fire, this might be a good example for them.
So courage under fire. He kind of nervously glances at his girlfriend, the fire elemental, or no, I'm sorry, the fire genasi. Slight difference.
Also, I was supposed to be whispering. How could he hear?
I accidentally have thaumaturgy set to on.
I turned this thing off.
And so I ask him, now, considering your, I was going to say former, but now it looks like current profession, you all are bandits. So, it would seem a bit odd for bandits to be running a small town like this. What happens if another round of bandits come in and want to take over? Especially ones that you perceive to be taller, or stronger than you. and of course taller, yes.
Bruh.
He takes a minute. He takes a pause, trying to swallow what you're saying without making much of a face. Well, simply put, it takes one to know one. Some of the best investigations committed by the Guard have used inside men to help them know the strategies of the people they were ousting. So we know how bandits operate. Yes, I'm not ashamed, we are the Bugbear Bandits. But that means we know how bandits think. We know how they do. And we can scare them off. We can show them that this town is protected by a force much better than them. Stronger. United. Synonym. Nope, that's not how words work.
I raise my hand and I finally say, how do we know you wouldn't cut a deal with these other bandits to save your own skin?
Because we're too selfish. Because we're too honorable for that.
Selfish, you say?
I meant shellfish, we like shellfish, and you are what you eat.
You eat shellfish?
He's BSing you, man.
I'm not over there. I'm just kidding. It went through Ralph's mind.
I intentionally, for the sake of all of this, Do I have it? I should have it. Spiritual weapon, lesser restoration.
What? Spiritual weapon?
Darn it, I don't have it yet. I was going to cast Zone of Truth.
Oof.
Well, I mean, you could always just force him into the church, into a confessional.
That would be... You know what? We should have did that. We should have had it in, like, an open confessional.
Are there any more questions before we vote?
I raise
No.
my hand.
Hey, you there in the cloak.
Might I ask a favor of our moderator? Would you be able to bring out a open confessional?
Oh, you mean
That
to
would
invoke a zone of truth? Ah, certainly. Actually,
I got you, Gemma.
I unfortunately am spent on my divinely allotted abilities for the day. I was actually going to go to bed after this service.
Well, then, I believe the ability for a confessional is beyond us at the moment. And I think for many of us, and especially for our hard-pressing questions, our choices seem to be quite clear, are they not?
If the crowd is satisfied. Gentle men, do you have any closing statements? Adam kind of presses his outfit and goes, look, I know I don't look like much. I know my crew doesn't look like much. But this town isn't much either. What I'm offering you is an opportunity to grow together. What I'm offering you is sobriety in your leadership. I mean, look at the guy. He's drooling. Honest Tom. Yes. A vote for me is a vote for free. Stuff. Well, you heard it here, folks. Now is the time. Going around is another clergyman handing out a double-sided card. One side colored blue, one side colored green, corresponding to each podium. Did I say green? Red, blue.
Green and blue, yes.
Adam's being red, Tom's being blue. Their podiums. As you will, as you come to your decision, please raise the card. Side you wish to vote for facing me. He pulls out some glasses, puts them on. Some of the crowd right away.
I obviously to the red side.
Red side, okay. The crowd, relatively quickly for the most part, starts raising theirs.
Can we vote?
Yes, you are each handed one as well. Well, actually, you're not near, so you're not actually handed one.
No, I'm watching from the window.
Okay.
He's watching from afar. I raise up a red card.
Okay.
Wow, Adam has been banned from soccer games twice.
Actually,
Sorry, I had to make a very
Rafa,
obscure joke there.
as you're watching, you notice that Hephaestus's former butler is walking with a pack of stuff. He looks longingly towards the elections that are going on, and he continues out of town in the way that Hephaestus had ran off earlier this day.
Who's butler?
Hephaestus Brigand's butler.
Huh.
Go after him.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose I will. I'll rush over to him.
Okay. We'll say you managed to make it down in time. Hello there.
Where are you going?
To see what has become of Hephaestus Brigand.
Are you that loyal to him?
Roll a persuasion check. A butler is as a butler does. And he starts turning.
Would you not serve the new mayor?
Roll a persuasion. He looks at you. Noticeably now there's a little bit of worry in his face. I'm afraid I must serve Brigand. An old family favor that must be fulfilled.
I see.
He leans in close to you. He comes from a very powerful family. I have no choice.
It's always a choice.
Persuasion check.
It's starting to look like this guy has a spell on him.
I'm afraid it is not mine to ask why. Good day, sir. He turns and walks away.
Oh yeah. He has some sort of curse on him.
Save him.
You're not there.
Oh, maybe not. I'm speaking as the player, not the character.
He walks away into the sunset as the voting comes back, and the what's his name, minister goes, "Oh, majority vote. Adam Moriarty is now the mayor of this dear Trent." Honest Tom is laying on his podium asleep, snoring again.
Who voted for the drunk? I mean, it's majority, but it's not unanimous. Who voted for the drunk?
There's a few people, not very many people of note. A few farmers, some people who look a little better off, but also kind of in the same life situation as him.
Hashtag he gets us.
Grief.
I want free stuff.
I mean,
A vote for me is a vote for me.
That wraps up the crowd kind of celebrates and ushers in their new mayor, as you all remember now. Oh yeah, it's time for Carmichael's party.
yes, indeed.
Yes. I start making my way downtown.
Yeah.
Walking fast. Can't really
Now,
go fast because I have a cane. Doodly doodly.
Carmichael has sugar crashed, holding onto your leg. He is just like fully asleep.
I look over at Nella, I look down, I see the Carmichael asleep being wrapped around her leg.
Yep.
I'm just like, I knew that was going to happen.
The cutest snores you've ever heard. As you make your way back, there seems to be no one else really in the tavern for a change. Do you wake Carmichael before entering?
Yeah.
Okay, you manage to kind of stir him. Huh? Whoa! What happened?
You ran out of energy.
Oh! Huh. Cool! That was fun. Should do that again sometime. Oh, we're at the tavern already. What's going on?
Saren said she had a surprise for you.
I love surprises! He goes in and he's too short for it, but he lifts his arm up and bats the classic Western style saloon doors. As you enter in, there's a shoddily painted poster that banister that says "Happy Birthday, Carmichael," and there's a nice little cake with a 10 candles stuck in it. Just the numbers in Roman numerals. So just an X, I guess. Anyways.
He's 10 as he's already going to Kulig.
And Carmichael is just standing there at the end, just past the entrance, just stunned, looking at everything. It's decorated nicely as you all enter.
Such a beautiful place. I like what you did with it.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. Carmichael, come here. He kind of peters forward. And she leans down and produces a little party hat and puts it on him. And she offers some to each of you.
I decline to grab a party hat.
I take one and put it on my head.
She also produces a tiny one for the pig. You all gather around as Carmichael climbs. He has to. None of the chairs are high enough. He has to actually get on the table, and he. You all sing "Happy Birthday," and he blows out the candle.
We can't do it because we're terrible at singing and also copyright.
It's probably different in this world, anyways. Ha!
Wait, who copyrighted a happy birthday song?
Mike,
You all. It's the cake is served. It's a this world's equivalent of German chocolate, so a nice rich chocolate with coconut shavings worked into the outer frosting. The layers are mixed with a jelly kind of filling. Tastes good. Carmichael is only allowed a small portion. There's some ice cream. And Carmichael says, well, it's been super fun getting to meet you all. And we'll meet again. But it's time I go to college. And I don't know enough about this world. So I'll be going to the Lore College. Donatello, this kind of slightly rings to you as you remember there being something like that on a neighboring isle from the Whistle Archipelagos.
Right, that was where I used to live. And he perks up a little bit. One, that's amazing news, young one. He pulls out begins to pull out a letter with a address, and he just slides it to him. When you get there, put this to your headmaster. This will give you the access to a few of the friends that I have on the nearest archipelago, and they will be able to help care for you in my name, in my stead.
Thank you, Donatello. That means so much. Before I go, I've been working on a song to commemorate our time together, but I don't know what to call you guys.
No.
You don't know what to call us.
Oh no.
Well, like every like famous group, has like their name. Like, the ballad of, like if one was written about Adam and his guys, it'd be like the Ballad of the Bugbear Bandits. But, like, you're folk heroes now. What are people gonna call you?
What have they called us?
I don't know. And we can put off this decision of y'all naming the party until we can have Kyle involved into the discussion.
I honestly think that should be where we ended off.
All right.
And like, that would be something that we discuss throughout the next 2 weeks, and then literally present it to, like, not only just him but to everyone. That'd be awesome.
All right. With that, there's a to be continued comes across the screen, and we will resume next week with the name of our heroes. Thank you all, audience, for watching. The real reason we're doing this is to bring attention to the fact that we are all just people. We are fallen creatures in the hands of a holy God, who did not leave us helpless, who, despite and because of our iniquity, came himself in the flesh to live the perfect life that we could not, to experience the suffering and death that we could not, to take our place in the eyes of God, that by God's wrath being poured out for us on him, his righteousness could be attributed to us, that by faith and belief in him, turning away from our former lives, we could be saved. Today and every day, indeed, is the day of the Lord's salvation. If you believe in your hearts, repent and believe, you shall be saved. I have been Stephen the Stole. This has been the Tomes of Time. Have a good night, and God bless.